Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to Astrology with Abhilasha. Today I'll be taking Rahu through each house, and at the end of the video I'll be telling you a remedy which you can do to pacify your Rahu, and this remedy can be done on the day of Holi, which is just approaching. So yeah, there is a remedy as well, and I'll be discussing. Rahu placed in all the 12 houses. So first of all, let's start with discussing a bit about Rahu. So currently there is a lot of fascination about this dragon's head, that is Rahu. What is the fascination all about? That is what Rahu is. It provokes the passion, the kind of anticipation, the kind of enigma in the person's mind who's looking at it. Rahu is all about provocative ideas. It is all about making everybody awestruck. But there is a typical line which is said, the higher they rise, the stronger they fall. That is the case of Rahu. No matter with their scrupulous way, with their tricks and magic of holding the crowd, they may rise, but please wait for their fall as well. That is Rahu, because Rahu is a second class entity which tries to enter in the first class arena, and he uses each and every trick to be the A-lister, and he does not have that acumen, so he can only fake it to a certain extent, and it is sure that they will be caught and they will be exposed sooner or later. That enigma is not very long-lived, which Rahu creates around a person. The enigma which is created by the shadow planet is very short-lived, and it is taken for sure. They have the tendency of faking it till they make it. This sentence is apt to describe the ways of Rahu, the ways of a person who is Rahu dominant. They fake it till they make it. They consider everybody in front of them as the most stupid fellow whom they can trick and have their ways. This is the first hand experience I'm telling you. A person who was totally a Rahu personality, who was perceived as a brilliant teacher. I would not use the word guru, but as a brilliant teacher of a particular subject, and he is totally a Rahuan personality. And whenever I had a word with that person, he always told me that, listen Abhilasha, everybody is a fool and we are here to trick them. So this is the tendency of Rahu. They want to succeed in life at any cost, because somewhere they feel that they are cheated, or they are being wronged in some or the other sense. They are not given the due. That is their approach, which might not be true, because that is your point of view. We haven't heard the point of view of the other person, but that is all about Rahu. He considers only his point of view, and he feels he's wronged always. And he is here on a spree of revenge, just like the movie character of Joker can be easily equated to Rahu in modern sense, right? What other things can we attach to this? Rahu in person is a risk taker, and Rahu rewards those who are not afraid to take risk in their life. Taking risk, crossing your boundaries, being unexpected, spontaneous, breaking boundaries of culture, breaking boundaries of a set norm. This is a person, a Rahu ruled person is such that he would be the one who will splash out all trade secrets and portray it as a revenge of the wrong other people has done to him, right? That is the concept with which they live life. They're all about the public projection. Continuously in their mind, there is some other trick is running. Some of the other magic combination is running. Some permutation combination is always behind their mind, in which they are actually the one who is doing wrong to the other person, but they're in own mind frame, in their own mindset, they are the one who's wronged. Rahu wants to have privilege of, being prestigious. Rahu craves prestige, and they are not intended in earning it by being on a righteous path. They are always about snatching it. Now, a Rahu governed person is a mass swear, and whichever house your Rahu sits in, that is your forte, where you can actually trick somebody. But mind it, you can trick and achieve in that field wherever your Rahu is sitting, but sooner or later you will be exposed, you will be caught. There is no escape, because Rahu, the smoke, has to be removed some or the other way. That is why Rahu and Ketu eclipses sun, because that is what they hate. They hate the vision of truth. They hate the light sun throws on good and bad of every aspect. Take it in a philosophical sense. Rahu is always things which are hidden, and sun always exposes whatever is hidden. So if any planet can beat these tendencies, it's only sun and moon. Rather, the luminaries can only beat Rahu and Ketu, because Rahu is your concise, it's your soul. Sun is your concise, it's your soul. Only this, your soul, your inner thought, can only take over the modern pollution of cheating and being the thug, which is Rahu. Only your mind can tell you what is right and wrong. That is moon. Only moon and sun can expose the ways of Rahu. Right? Other planet which can also restrict the ways of Rahu is Saturn. Though we generally hear that Saturn is the lower octave of Rahu, or Rahu is the higher octave of Saturn. But what is the difference between the ways of Saturn and Rahu? Saturn is there with restrictions. It has the judgment of right and wrong. Saturn is non-biased, whereas Rahu is biased towards his own self. Only Saturn can restrict the cheating of Rahu, the camouflage of Rahu. Sun and moon can expose it to your own self. Because what kind of a person you want to be is totally governed by your inner soul and your mind. So Rahu and Ketu are the nodes of moon. So only moon can, control them. Right? Rahu is a great opportunistic person. One who never lets any opportunity go in vain is Rahu. He will not let any opportunity skip. He will make out of any situation to the fullest. He will take advantage of any situation to the fullest. And that situation can be somebody else's problem as well. If somebody else is falling, Rahu is the person who will kick him and make him fall faster. Right? And Rahu, for doing it, uses the condition of the house he is situated in and the sign he is lorded by. That is the planet which Rahu uses as a disguise to make his ways. Okay? Rahu is like a hypnotic session, a hypnotization session. Rahu is all about mesmerism, mesmerizing somebody. And whenever this hypnotism, this state of trance breaks, the person has lost a lot emotionally, financially, opportunity wise. So you should be aware of this planet. He will make you rise suddenly and he snatches away everything suddenly as well. So you should always keep this in mind. Now I will take Rahu in all different houses, and then at the last we'll discuss the remedy which you can do at the festival of Holi to negate the ill effect of Rahu. So when Rahu is in first house, that is in ascendant, he is totally over your head in your personality. This person considers himself to be the most important one. Sometimes this person will become very flashy in his ways of dealing with people, very loud, always seeking attention. They would want to display their physical body if Rahu is in ascendant. They would have extraordinary vitality. Also, if Rahu is in ascendant, this is a good part, that these people will have extraordinary vitality. The vitality of recuperating from any kind of situation. Because this person will have tricks and tips for each and everything. He can be a certain person for a year and completely different for the rest of his life. Correct? Now Rahu in second, either this person will have a lot of hoarding tendencies. You know, the greed of hoarding would be very extensive. Or he would have financial responsibilities even of his extended family if Rahu is in second house. Many of his family members would be dependent on him, right? He would have, you know, very out of the box ideas of making investments and having sudden income if Rahu is in second. Rahu in second can also make a person in the field of finances, banking, etc. If Rahu is in the second house, you should watch what you speak, right? That is very important. They will be risk taker in their financial decisions. They will either be very protective of their cultural values or totally will break them and go beyond the limits. Or you can see Rahu second house person is a person who at one point of time was totally, you know, a traditional orthodox kind of a person, and suddenly they changed and become very liberal in their approach. So this is also an attribute of Rahu in second house. Rahu in third, you can be very good at the jobs in publication, writing skills, imaginative, very imaginative. Will have a, you know, a very fantasy kind of a writer who is all about fantasy, sci-fi, would be a Rahu in third person, or some influence of Rahu in the third house of such a person. Very communicative, Rahu in third. Very inclined towards social media, finding new opportunities through social media, through digital communication, and they will always have a glitch in their communication devices. Some of the other devices will always be having a glitch. Even when Rahu transits your third house, you can see these attributes. Very clever risk taker. And whenever such a person speaks, He believes that he is sending out the most important message to the world, or to his family, or to his friends. So you can watch this as attribute if you have somebody in your known circle who has Rahu in third, that whenever they speak or whenever they give you an advice, they think that it should be the last word in the room, and whatever they are saying is the most doable thing and the most right thing and most out of the box idea they are giving to you. Rahu in fourth can make you obsessed about properties, about your mother, about your motherland. Rahu is obsession. Wherever it sits, it makes you obsessed regarding that house and the signification of that house. Your life revolves around the signification of that house. Rahu is the new karma which we are making in this world. So wherever it sits has to be the pivot of your horoscope. There is where you're constructing new karmas, and right or wrong depends upon how your moon is placed, how is your sun is placed, right? He will have spatial resources. He would try to use all the spatial resources of his family. He wants to be the privileged one in the family if Rahu is in the fourth house. He's like a he would always feel that he's not born in the appropriate family. He's too good for his family and peers, for his friend circle. He would feel odd one out in his own family if Rahu is in the fourth, right? If Rahu is in fifth, he would display himself as the ultimate genius. He will pick up knowledge roaming around to different gurus and different places and portray it as his own. And he will do it so cleverly that no one can point out how he cheated. Making somebody else's knowledge as your own is Rahu in fifth. This person will be obsessed about mantra shastra, Rahu in fifth, or expecting the fifth house. This person will be, you will see, if he is inclined towards spirituality, he will be, for sure, he will be obsessed about mantra shastra. But whatever, cheating or smart play he's doing currently, he would yield result once his children are born. So he should wait for his time to come. Rahu in fifth will also make a person who would like to display his or own child as an achievement. The knowledge he gathered from here and there, begging or buttering people, he will display as it he has earned it by years of hard work, which is totally untrue. And he would not even realize it in his own mind. Right? He would be very self-obsessed also. And Rahu in sixth is actually a good placement, a decent placement. Your enemies will be always kept away if Rahu is in good dignity. You will be fond of keeping domestic animals. Sorry for my coughing, I'm not well. So yeah, Rahu in sixth will make you fond of keeping domestic animals, but you should avoid it at any cost. That won't be a very fruitful thing to do, keeping domestic pets in your sixth, if Rahu is in your sixth house. You will have a lot of litigations. Being a lawyer is a good option to divert this energy of sixth house Rahu. Again, a risk taker, very tactful in dealing with enemies, and will have a good knowledge of technicalities of machinery, weapons, etc. as well. Even if the person is not from a technical background, he would have some knowledge of technical things and machineries. Rahu in seventh. Your life is all about your partners. Your partners will bring paradigm shift in your life if Rahu is in the seventh house. These people can be good advisors and good advocates as well if Rahu is in seventh or respecting the seventh house. They make you a very socially mobile person, but you should refrain from doing it to aggravate the Rahuvian qualities. Be as less social as possible if Rahu is in a seventh house, though he will drag you and land you in a position where you cannot avoid social interaction. But to avoid the negative aspects of Rahu in seventh house, one should be as less social as possible. Be very cautious while having a partnership, whether it's marital partnerships or business. Always try to partner with a person who has some influence of Saturn in his seventh house, so that the attribute of getting cheated or being a cheater reduces. Rahu in eighth makes you innovative, a person who loves taking initiatives. This person is very good at camouflaging, showing what he is not. Rather, transformation is the key for this person. Life would always be about transformation. They will not be able to keep secrets, and that is where they will be destroyed by the enemies. Maintain the secrecy if Rahu is in eighth, because that can be transformational for you. They will have some extraordinary power to invoke transformation in somebody else's life as well, but they should choose the other person very wisely, right? Rahu in ninth, you should be very aware, rather beware about the gurus, the priest, etc. you meet in your life. Rather, whenever Rahu is transiting in your ninth, you should avoid taking up spiritual learnings, because that is where something wrong will be seeded in you. And once the transit of Rahu in ninth is over, you will realize the amount of time, emotion you lost. So follow your inner spirituality rather than seeking it from the outward world or following a human, an embodiment of a guru. Always follow the Supreme, the God, as your guru rather than any human if Rahu is in ninth. Even the father of this person should be very aware of getting cheated in business when Rahu is in ninth. Once in life, this person, Rahu in ninth person, will do something which is against the domain of his culture. His lineage. He will do something which will be considered as a taboo. And that is where the circle of karma will get activated. Rahu is the planet which start giving you result of your kriyaman karma as well. Not only your sanchit karma, but also the karma which you are actually doing in this world right now. So don't activate this shadow planet in a wrong way. Try to control it always with the help of your moon and sun, that is soul and mind. So Rahu in 10th makes you a boss by hook or by crook. Your only and sole desire is to sit on the throne and be considered as a boss, the director, the social icon. You want to project yourself as the lawgiver, as the final authority in whichever career or field you are attached to. And you will fake it. You will fake the knowledge till you gain that position. You will have the necessary, qualities of making the masses sway to your tunes. But again, if this Rahu is not restrained, then there'll be a quick fall like there was a quick rise. Leadership is all you want. You only want to display your social authority. By all means. And you can't help it, because when Rahu is in the 10th house, it is totally overshadowing your karma, because 10th is the house of your karma. When Rahu sits here, it's completely dominating your actions. And you can't help it. Unless and until you have a very strong sun or a totally unafflicted moon. If you are able to control yourself in the right time, at the right point, you will save yourself from creating the negative karma in your life. And this is the house where all the wrongdoings will be suffered only by you, not by your family, not by your friends, but by you yourself. your peace of heart, your social status, your dignity will be at stake if you continue to do something which is derogatory, which comes in the purview of cheating, right? This will give you extraordinary revenue as well. Rahu in 10th. Rahu in 10th, it is generally said that he can control the world, but only the materialistic world. Think of your spiritual progress as well. Rahu in 11th will govern your gains, can give you extraordinary gain. It can make you a person who's all about running after the materialistic part of any relation, any venture. Always inclined towards how you can extract the best out of any situation, how you can turn any venture in your favor. It will also give you a vast friend circle which will have each and every kind of a person as your friend, right? It will also make you very research oriented, and Rahu in 11th will also influence your 5th house. So it can again give you some innate urge to gain knowledge, which with each and every interaction of yours, you want to gain something out of the other person or the situation, right? Rahu in 12th is all about you being guided by your ancestors. It also shows that one or some of your ancestors are still caught in the process of crossing the Vetarni. So you should be very cautious about doing the Pitra, Paksha, Shraddh, etc. if Rahu is in your 12th, or even if Rahu is transiting your 12th house, that year it is a great possibility that you will make a mistake regarding doing the Arpan Tarpan for your Pitris. So be very conscious about that. It also makes you very meditative. If you want to invoke the positive quality of Rahu in 12th, you can achieve something very great in the field of meditation and spiritualism also. This is what I'm telling you, which is not very in line to the traditional thing, but this is what I have observed in my general checking of horoscopes. It will make you an extraordinarily, calculated person inwardly if Rahu is in your 12th house. Though it might hamper your sleep process or give you a very haphazard bedroom life, but you can make it in a constructive form by going to the path of meditation, etc., or take it to the completely materialistic form and getting involved in all kind of 12th house pleasures, right? So that is all about the houses and Rahu sitting in them. Now, a remedy which I promised to give, which you can do on Holi. It can be done by everybody, because I consider Rahu as a malefic, and it is a malefic without any reconsideration. So this is a very stupid thing to say, oh, your Rahu was good and you did this remedy and this happened. Something bad happened. A malefic can never be good. A malefic is always malefic, and we have to reduce the maleficence of a planet which is making us totally engripped into the materialistic world in a way where we do not consider what harm we are doing to the other person. Growing materialistic is not bad, but not at the cost of harming somebody else, or cheating their emotions, or playing with their thought process. Being a charlatan totally is not the way of living. So the remedy is, take a नारियल, the dried one, गोला जिसे हम कहते हैं, नारियल लेना है, and fill it with flax seed oil. अलसी का तेल से उसको भरना है. Take it to where the bonfire for Holika is created. Take 8 rounds of the bonfire and put that dried coconut filled with flaxseed oil into the fire, and wish that all the negativity, all the evilness of your personality is destroyed, and all the evil which is approaching towards you is also destroyed, seen and unseen. That is a very good remedy which I personally do, and I hope it will help many of us. Jai Shri Ram. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. It will give me a lot of motivation to keep posting. Subscribe.